Having a social worker based at Cardinal Wiseman School has had a massive impact on our relationship with social care. I would say that having someone based here has improved the speed at which I can get advice as a designated safeguarding lead, and also the speed at which support is also put into place for our young people. Our social worker is here full-time and works with other professionals within the school, and it means that our relationship between the inclusion team, the heads of year and the safeguarding leads is very collaborative. In addition to that, it means that we are now working more closely and at greater speed with external agencies. And that's something that is very, very important for us as a school community to ensure that children get the best support and access to the sport in a speedy and quick manner. In terms of relationships and responses for having a social worker here at school, I can get instant advice. That has led to fewer referrals, which can often be time consuming, being referred to Ealing social care. It means that our workload has reduced significantly. However, the impact of our work is still significant enough to support the children in our care. When we meet with families and offer them the support of working with social workers, the term social worker can often be quite a daunting and off-putting thing for some families. When we explain that we have a social worker based here at school full-time, it's a much more appealing intervention for families. What they've also been able to do is to come in and meet with our social worker and have a much more collaborative approach to supporting their child at school. I can highly recommend having a social worker here. I feel as though we would be lost without having a social worker in school, and it's definitely something that's helped us with early identification of need, contextual safeguarding, and also speedy responses to any child protection or safeguarding concerns.
Before, I thought, it's been 1 year now, I know Olivia, the social worker, so I never knew, because it hadn't been even 1 year of me in the school. So I never got to know about social workers and stuff, and I never got interested in them. But since I started feeling up and down, I got to know about social workers in the school, and I felt like I need someone to express my feelings and I need someone to share my feelings, and they won't be able to judge us and they can give us some advice for our help. I recommend it, and yes, because people like Olivia should be in other schools, not only in 1 or 2 schools, they should be in every school, because every student has a different point of view, and they have loads of life situations and feelings. Even younger children, like, you know, primary children have went through a lot. It's not only older children, teens and stuff, it's like primary children and younger than that. So I think they should have someone on their side. If they can't share their feelings with their family or friends, they should have someone at school who they can trust and share their feelings, who won't judge them at all.
I highly recommend having a social worker in school, because actually our social worker, it's not just the reactive work that we do, and sometimes safeguarding and being a DSO, it can feel like that, but actually it's the preventative work, which is super important. Working with families, working with the students, doing group work with some of the students, so that students also, it adds extra capacity in school to the safeguarding team as well, so that it's not just the safeguarding team picking up everything else. That added capacity has a huge impact on the school, and it helps us dealing with any concerns we have and any of the preventative work that we have to do.
The impact having a Swiss social worker has had in school with regards to training and safeguarding is that we have an improved safeguarding course. We have regular safeguarding updates from her and the rest of the safeguarding team, and then we've also had professional development led by the Swiss social worker on safeguarding and signs we need to look out for. I would wholeheartedly recommend having a Swiss social worker in school, simply because they're always there, extremely helpful, and they get the problem solved.
I thought they were like rude people who interfere with your life, but obviously not. I think they're quite helpful. Like, you've definitely helped me. We just talk about stuff that I'm struggling with and stuff that benefits me and that can benefit me. I recommend that schools have a social worker because it's different to talking to someone who works at the school to someone else who doesn't work at the school.
My name is Danny Coyle. I'm head teacher of Cardinal Wiseman Catholic School here in Ealing. I think I'd like to make 3 points about the importance of having social workers in schools. And I've worked in London schools for 35 years. I started in the mid-1980s, so I have some experience of working with external intervention. The first point I'd like to make is the absolute centrality of addressing issues early. The earlier that schools and agencies can work together to address issues, the better it is for our young people. The second point I'd like to make about having social workers in schools is this. Whenever there has been a serious case review in the last 20 or 30 years, and we can go back to cases like Baby P or Victoria Colombier, one of the key things which emerges from the serious case reviews is the failure of agencies to talk together, to communicate together. And that failure, that absence of dialogue, means that our most vulnerable people, our most vulnerable children have suffered. The advantage of having a Swiss worker in school is therefore quite obvious. Number 1, the emails. Number 2, the letters. Number 3, the daily face-to-face communication. It means that those pitfalls, those disasters that have been so common in our society in the last 30 or 40 years can be avoided. And the third and final thing I'd say is this. When it comes to looking after children, it means you need high-class quality professionals working together on a daily basis, communicating together. And I think what we've seen here in my 2 months in Cardinal Wiseman is a real good paradigm of best practice.